Hello and welcome to Desert Bus 3D running in the Outerra engine. Now if you're not familiar with the Outerra engine can do this. Yeah, we're going from orbit, but how close to the ground can we actually get? Well, it turns out very close. Simulating everything from orbit to right down to ground level, Outerra engine is certainly something amazing. And on top of that, the entire Earth is modeled with real-world geographical data. So, what does this have to do with Desert Bus? Well, I think you know where we're going with this. Time to open up the overlay map and find our way to Tucson, Arizona. There we are. So, this looks like our place, and here we are in Tucson. As you can see, the entire city is not modeled because heck that. However, we do have the beginning of the road, and it goes off into the distance, and I think we know where it leads to: Las Vegas. Let's start up a bus and get going. Now, in order to get a bus, you'll need the paid version of this engine, but everything else should be fine. Okay, where's that road gone? There we are. Okay, on we go. Our journey is about to begin. And we're off. We're off. We are in Tucson, Arizona, and we're heading to Las Vegas, Nevada. And as you can see, the Google map in the bottom right shows us exactly where we are. In fact, this map doesn't just do a Google map overlay, it also does an OpenStreetMap overlay. So, ooh, damn, I pressed the wrong button there. There we are. Oops, and I've just done a screwed up handbrake turn. Don't worry about crashing, that's not supported in this game. But as you can see, it also does OpenStreetMap as well. The bus is a very nice bus. It is SM11. It's not quite like the Desert Bus that's featured on promotional art. It doesn't have things, but you can open the doors. Hooray! So, are we ready? Are we going to make a long, great big trek all the way over to Las Vegas? No, because I don't have several hours to spare right now. Yeah, there's the bus, and we're going to take the trek to Las Vegas, the express route, by really going for the flyover mode and seeing how the track winds its way through the desert. As I said, this is actually real-world geographical data. Like I said, unfortunately, it's missing buildings and missing other roads. I built this entire road myself, with the help of some navigation stuff. And but everything else is the same. You drive a bus, it uses the same real-world physics. You drive it on this desert road. It's desert, it's a road, it's a bus. And just like the original Desert Bus, you can't just lean something against the controller because you might end up hitting bad terrain and tipping over or something. So, if you're not familiar with Desert Bus, it was a game developed and never released for the Mega CD. It was made by magicians Penn and Teller, and it was kind of a parody game in which they joked about both realism in video games and parodies over people's fearing that games were becoming too violent. The idea is it was a hyper-realistic game. I believe the term they used were verisimilitude simulator, wherein you basically had to drive a thing called a desert bus from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was a straight road, barely any features. The bus kept tilting to the right, so you couldn't just put something on the controller, and it took 8 hours just to get from one end to the other. After those 8 hours, you would earn precisely 1 point. And then you turn around to do it over again. And if you fell off the road and crashed, you were towed back to the last stop at the regular speed of the bus. And then you had to wait and then just do it all over again. Oh, and once you reached the destination, you had 10 seconds to confirm, or else you ended up having, or else the game ended right there. So you couldn't get lazy on this. So several years later, this was originally released on, originally on a game compilation called Smoke and Mirrors. Several years later, Smoke and Mirrors got released and Desert Bus was rediscovered. And then a Canadian comedy sketch group called Loading Ready Run came across it and decided to make it part of a charity drive where they would, a literal charity drive, where they would try to play Desert Bus and in return they would get funding. So basically they subjected themselves to huge amount of mind-rending boredom driving a bus through a large desolate desert, kind of like this one, except, you know, with more basic graphics, just so that they could say, you know, just to get donations, which they would donate to the Child's Play charity, a charity that were meant for kids, which were meant for kids in hospitals, that was set up by the Penny Arcade guys who make the webcomic Penny Arcade. And so basically, Desert Bus for Hope, as the fundraising thing was called, was a huge success. They made huge amounts of money, and the next one is starting soon. By the way, the road kind of bent back and forth there because we were just passing through Phoenix, Arizona. So, yeah, like I said, it would be nice to add more landmarks to it. It's certainly possible with this engine. But right now, we're sticking with the road as it is. So yes, Desert Bus for Hope was a huge success, and they've kept adding to it and developing it over the years and earning more and more money for all those kids, and it's developed quite a culture and fun in and of itself. So, take a look if you're interested in that sort of thing. But from my end, I just kind of wanted the idea of having Desert Bus fully in 3D, like real-world geographies, real-world locations and stuff, but I figured it was kind of, well, not impossible, because nothing's impossible, but it would take a huge amount of time, energy, resources. And then I discovered the Outerra Engine, which pretty much had the entire world simulated. The engine worked because you could see things at distances. They already had the whole geography down. All I really needed, and they even had a bus. So all I needed to do was add this road that we see before you, which follows real routes. This follows the I-10 and the, I think, US 93. So I had it following the real roads all the way from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada, and it can even be modified. There's still plenty more to add. So, yeah, can you imagine driving a bus? In that bus, we were going through this entire route, all the way. How long it would take? Yeah. So it took a bit of time to lay this whole road, but nowhere near as much time as it would have taken if I actually had to build up the engine or get the geography down. I was considering another engine at one point, the Grit engine. It's an open source thing meant for open world games, but just with Outerra, I mean, it was hard. Outerra already had the world in it and already had all the problems like long view distances and stuff, and it even had this nice tool for laying down the road. So I mean, most things I need in the Outerra engine were already there. It was just a matter of convenience. And yeah, here we go. Oh boy. If you skip ahead to get to the end, I totally cannot blame you. This is a lot of desert. This is a lot of road. Even just scrolling by it is quite a task. And, okay, I think we're getting close to Las Vegas. And you know you're getting close to Las Vegas because there's one landmark, which everyone knows when they're heading towards Las Vegas. But I don't think we've reached it yet. Oh boy, this is just, it seems like there's more and more terrain to be added. Just goes up and loops and around and, oh boy. Okay, in case someone... Interestingly, the start and the end stops in Las Vegas and Nevada, they both are positioned in front of actual coach terminals in the real world. So it was nice. I found coach terminals that were very close to the city centres in both cases and made sure the roads led to them. I think that the coaches are each done by different companies though, so I don't think in real world you'd be able to get a coach that goes, or a bus that goes directly from one of those stations to the other. But there you go anyway. Okay, I think I found this one fascinating. It's amazing how straight these, I mean the roads are not completely straight, but it's amazing how there are some very, very straight stretches of road here. I don't know what it's like to drive in real life. I mean, what if you actually had a real bus? But I'm not even sure where we are now. Hang on. I'm going to bring up the Google map. Ah, we're still on the US 93, or Route 40 is that. Oh well. But I think, yes, I think we're finally going to get there. We're not even in a bus and already we're going to, oh right, no wait, we're not there yet. Sorry. False alarm, everybody go home. We still go back to sleep. We've still got a long bus journey ahead of us. Oh boy. Time to speed this up a little. Oops, there we are. Aha. Here's the sign that we're really hitting Las Vegas again. Well, that's the road. That's actually meant to be a bridge, but I haven't got a full bridge, so it looks like canyon. But right there in front of you with the Hoover Dam, or at least it would be if it was implemented in this game. What you can see is the gigantic canyon that the river drips down into, and you can also see what's meant to be the bridge where it crosses over. So that's kind of fascinating. But on we go. We've hit the Hoover Dam. We cannot be that far from Las Vegas. So I suppose with Penn and Teller being magicians, that's why they decided to have this route leading to Las Vegas. I mean, unless of course it was all just, sorry, I clicked the trigger there. Unless of course it was all an elaborate scheme to get you to see Siegfried and Roy, but I doubt that, you know. I'm not sure what they think about it. I don't know much about Siegfried and Roy, but I did see that cartoon series they had a while back. Siegfried and Roy, masters of the impossibles, and so on. Actually, from the one episode I saw of it, it wasn't too bad. You know, they had that tiger be a mystical creature and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, okay, I think we're headed. I think right ahead of us we see Las Vegas. And yes, look at that. Look at that. Things that should be there. That is Las Vegas. And that should be there if it was modeled or anything. And I think it's time to, I think it's time to actually pretend that we were taking the bus the whole time, and that we weren't just gigantic wusses for, you know, trying to take the easy way to get across. Now, America, right side of the road. Gotcha. Oh yes, boy, that was sure a long 6 hours or plus of desert bus there. I can't believe I saw so much desert, and all those hours of it I spent every single moment in this bus driving along. Oh boy. Look at all those fantastic casinos and buildings and city blocks that are totally meant to be there right now. Whoa, look at the Las Vegas Premium Outlets North. That is fantastic. I am glad I am seeing that with my real, genuine eyes. It is amazing. And to think soon that we will be able to drop this bus and reach our final destination. But not in that disaster horror movie sense, but in the actual sense of reaching our destination. And it's all thanks to Desert Bus, the power of kids' charities, and the people who made the Outerra Engine. Thank you guys. We couldn't have done this without you. Okay. Okay, there's a bit of a dog leg here. I think I'm just going to take a shortcut. There we are. Shortcut! Careful. The whole thing about breaking down and being dragged back in a pickup truck, that has not been implemented. I'm not sure what to do if the bus crashes. Actually, I'm not even sure what to do if someone gets flung around, it doesn't know which way is north and south is, and ends up driving in the wrong direction back to where they came from. If that happens, they will be utterly screwed, but it'll also be very hilarious, so it's worthwhile. And I think we have made it. Yes, after our long thing, we have finally made it. Passengers, you may now dismount. Oh, we don't seem to have any passengers. We must have left those behind. Oh well, I'm still getting paid. So, this has been SoFox with our fantastic voyage through Desert Bus in the Outerra Engine. Look it up. I'll provide details if you want to go have this fantastic experience yourself.